Hi, Dan Rowe with Fransmart. One of our greatest success stories, Five Guys, was just a small Northern Virginia burger concept with 4 locations when we met them. And today, Five Guys is an iconic international brand with over 1,500 stores and dozens of successful franchisees worldwide. Well, this was me back in the day. I've been a franchisee, franchisor, and investor, and sold over 5,000 franchises worldwide while launching franchising for Five Guys, Qdoba, the Halal Guys, and many others. I'm here today in one of our most successful emerging concepts to talk about our approach to creating wealth in franchising. Franchising, like any investment, is risky, but it's nearly $1 trillion business and a lot of people are getting wealthy. Today, we're going to meet some successful franchisees so you can understand how they did it. And I'll also show you exactly how I would evaluate a franchise brand and set myself up for as much success as possible while minimizing downside and risk. At the same time, we're going to talk about franchisees that struggled or failed in the hopes that you understand the difference and determine if franchising is right for you. 30 years ago, I started taking emerging restaurant concepts and scaling them with successful multi-unit franchisees, making myself, my franchisors, and my franchisees wealthy in the process. Franchising only works where everyone is successful. In this short video series, you'll get a first look at the knowledge and the experience that took me and my partners 30 years to acquire. Before we share our proprietary system of generating wealth for you, what we call the Fransmart way, let me ask you an obvious but important question. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Take a moment and think of how fast 5 years of your life goes by and visualize with me what success, ownership, and financial security feels like. Over the next 5 years, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? Let me ask you another question. What is your number? How much money do you want to have in the bank? Or how much income or passive income do you need to feel financially independent, to feel wealthy? Most people could live quite nicely with $200,000 or $300,000 a year of recurring passive income. How much do you need in the bank to throw off that much of a dividend? $5 million? We're sharing a model later in this video for you to work on with your financial professional to help you determine your number and the path to get there. Tying these two questions together, how do you get to your number without letting the next 5 years of your life fly by? The franchising business is often misunderstood, but actually it's a business of processes and systems that if you follow, you get results. If you aren't sure, ask the most successful franchisees how they are so successful and why people also struggle in the same system. It's a business that's perfect for highly motivated graduates, entrepreneurs, recent retirees, or anyone ready to start a new venture and values a proven business system with hands-on support. The right franchisors have every system and process that you need, as well as referenceable franchisees to validate. If a brand doesn't have happy referenceable franchisees, you don't need to join. The only reason I would get into franchising is to get wealthy. I would look for a concept that had great unit economics, replicable systems, referenceable franchisees, and the ability to take a small investment and scale it into a much bigger company I could sell. Like finding a concept that generated enough profit to reinvest into more locations, take the profit of those locations and keep compounding. And eventually have a much larger income stream or a bigger company that I could sell for that small investment. There's a lot of moving parts to independent businesses, but in franchises, those parts are all tied together. The franchise industry is mature and broadly filled with supported franchisees' need to access the right employees, loans, accounting, everything it takes to open and operate a business, including other franchisees to share best practices with. Key to success of our brands is finding the right franchisee, and that's the purpose of this short video series. So, enough about me for the moment. Let's hear from one of my favorite franchisees, Rick Fisher. What a success story. Rick was a software sales executive who wanted to build a business on the side to the point where he could quit his job and control his financial future while keeping his job. Rick now operates PSP Holdings with 20 and soon to be 30 locations of Five Guys Burgers and Popeye's Chicken. Let's hear Rick's story and how he leveraged the Fransmart way.
We wanted to get another investment, a way to kind of replace some income. There's a lot of really cool brands in the Fransmart portfolio. And Five Guys to us was an interesting brand, local brand, great burgers, great product. And when you guys got involved with Five Guys and helped them to become ready to franchise, we became interested. Opened our first store in 2008. The market went way down, and a lot of people got scared. And what we did is we leaned into it. We said this was a great opportunity to get better deals on real estate, get better deals on financing, find some really, really good people. And as a result of that, we accelerated our growth. And before we knew it, we had 10, 11 stores, and we were off and running. From unit number 3 of Five Guys, we started plowing money back in from the operating profits. We didn't take out profits. We started plowing money in, and that's what funded and accelerated our growth. And as we got to unit number 7, 8, 9, 10, that's when we started to be able to pull money out as well as put money back. And now we're at a point where we're not putting any more personal wealth back into the system. The system is feeding itself. We are now over 20 locations, and we're in the process of building 5 more. So by the time, this time next year, we'll have 25, 26 locations. First, establishing a strong operations team, getting that operations partner or operating partner established. Now, if you're a restaurant person coming into it, that could be you. But for us, I was an investor. So that was number 1. Number 2 is make sure you have your financing and your business plan set up. Get involved with brands, and I thought Five Guys was one of these brands that the unit economics made a lot of sense. And Fransmart helped us to understand that and distinguish that. And then you pick sites smartly. And we talked a lot about in the early days of getting convertible sites or finding sites where they might not be as expensive, but yet they offer all the attributes that the brand is looking for. Five Guys business model, and there's other brands that Fransmart have that's similar, the unit economics make a lot of sense, and you will do well if you follow that business model, and you follow their tool set, and you follow their guidelines and their policies and procedures. That's what you're buying when you're buying a franchise. You're buying that intellectual property, and you should exploit that. And I think it was one of the things that Fransmart advised was make sure you hire the right person as your director of ops right out of the get-go. Do not, go on the cheap, so to speak. And what we did was we hired the director of operations as our first employee. And it was a little bit more expensive, it was a little painful, but it really, really made a difference. And that jettisoned the rest forward, and that established an operating platform. Because remember, I didn't know anything about running a restaurant. I was an IT guy running a sales unit throughout the East Coast, traveling all the time, and I didn't have time to get involved in operations, so I had to hire somebody that had that skill set, and that's what we did. Knowing what I know now, taking on an early stage brand would not at all scare me if the brand had those attributes of the founders were strong, the systems were strong, the concept made sense from a unit economics perspective. I would be all over it.
We believe in getting wealthy by helping others get wealthy. Franchising is a business of systems, roadmaps, and best-known practices. And we identify very clear examples of the best and the worst in our industry and the operations. So why the Fransmart way? And what is special about the brands we build and the opportunity for you to grow with us? Due to current economic events, some people see a level of fear and uncertainty, while others see a huge opportunity in the marketplace. We look for brands that can pivot and stay successful regardless of world events. For example, our restaurant brands have always had a strong delivery and off-premise business component that just got amplified in the last few months. Or a concept like Golden Heart Senior Care is a national tech-forward, next-generation senior care franchise that's been thriving this year. Fact is, there's always a reason not to follow your passion and desire to create wealth. One of our founding principles is our ability to pivot our brands to rapidly changing economic environments. This is the key to the brands and the concepts we choose to develop with you. Franchising only works when you get wealthy helping others get wealthy, and that's franchisors, franchisees, and the key stakeholders. A franchisor cannot succeed unless their franchisees succeed. A franchisee cannot succeed building a large multi-unit business that someone will want to buy if their key stakeholders, meaning their team, is not thriving too. Fransmart Way is the best known way we know how to do everything in franchising. Fransmart's model is mapping businesses with the highest upside and the best possible franchisees, driving ROI, reinvesting free cash for the snowball effect of compounded returns on your investment, and selling this compounded business for a second bite at the apple. If you are feeling like you are not a finance or a tech person or even that numbers person, realize that you get the support through the franchisors for all of this. We say, love your tech and your tech will love you. Love your numbers and your numbers will love you. After all, success leaves clues. If you like what you're hearing, have a look at the next video, The Fransmart Way. You'll get a deeper look at our proprietary system, our brands, and our support. It's critical, though, that you feel like our approach is a fit, and this is why we've taken the time to summarize our business systems and opportunities. We handpick the right partners so that everyone on the team is generating wealth and opportunity.